Hey guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Thursday, August 1st. It is 6:22 right now. Market's gonna open in about 8 minutes. So I'm gonna go ahead and set up this room real quick and we'll get started shortly with our analysis for today. It's got a few things here to update and we should be good to go. All right, one last thing. And it looks like we are good. So let me get this link sent out to you guys here in the premium. All right. As people join in, hold up, guys. Let me gotta log into my Apex real quick. Stop my screen share. Man, I hate when it makes me log in like this. Middle of the day. All right. As people join in, all right, guys, give me 1 second. I'm logging into my Apex. I don't want to share my password with you guys. All right, there we go. Share my screen. There we go. I'll log into my Apex. I'm just gonna log out and log back into my Apex every morning, so I don't have to do it during the live session. So, all right, guys, as people join in, I'm going to go ahead and start marking up liquidity over here. Looks like we might hit the all-time high by tomorrow. But we'll see. Not going to go too far out. Not expecting that far of a push. All right, going down to the 1 minute. And it looks like we are good to go. So, all right, guys, I've marked up liquidity over here. Closest level of liquidity below is at 41,091, and the closest level above is at 41,163. That upper level just got knocked out right there pre-market. Both of the levels right here got knocked out. We also had news over here at 5:30. So we had some high impact news over here at 5:30 this morning. This big candle. We have more news at 6:45. News at 7, I believe. 6:45, 7, and 7:30. Pretty much similar to yesterday. Got this big spike right here pre-market. We got market opening up in about 2 minutes, guys. Price is pushing. We're getting that pre-market push right there. All right. So it looks like we'll see where price ends up going from here. One 20. All right, guys, we got market opening up in about 10 seconds. As you guys can see right here, it's pretty much going back and forth at the moment. We currently have a bullish bias because price is above the pivots, trend meter is green, pivots are angling up, divergence is bullish. So I'll probably be looking for some buys today. I'm going to clean up this liquidity because it's pretty much been used up already. This one too. It's also lining up with the sessions. So this is the opening candle right here. Market is now officially open. Let price kind of push up a little bit before I start looking for some more entries here. All right, so price continues to push up from where it's currently at. The target price point is going to be the sessions up here. So this will be the target price point if price continues to climb up higher. We got price above the sessions right now. I have to wait for it to kind of retrace back a little bit before I look for any entries here. But see where this goes. All right, so what I'm looking for here is I'm looking for a strong retracement, bounce off the pivot, and continuation back up. That's what I'll be looking for right there for a market flow entry. Looking over here at the level 2 data, it's pretty balanced. So I think price might start to consolidate or kind of pull back a little bit from where it's currently at. I'm looking for any anomalies, like some big numbers. I see a lot of orders on the sell side, so I mean, we'll see if it retraces back. That's kind of what I'm waiting for here anyways. So we got price pushing up right here to the sessions. Again, the target price point is going to be the sessions right there. Target just got hit. So there goes the first target. It's also a levels entry right here if anybody's looking to take the levels. There's no market flow entries here yet, so there's nothing for me to take. I'm preferably looking for some market flow entries. There's a lot of entries that are coming up, but I'm preferably looking for market flow entries. I think this here would have been tricky anyways because the sessions were so close. But all right, so price continues to push up higher. The next target price point is going to be the sessions up here. So, I mean, there's still room to climb. But I will be looking for my market flow entries. So looking at the level 2 right now again, bunch of sell orders coming in, so this might retrace down a little bit. Exactly what's happening here. There's a lot of big buy orders coming in too. So again, I'm looking for a strong retracement here and then possibly a swing back up. Obviously, probably not going to have the entry on this candle here, but maybe on the next one. So I'll be looking for a possible market flow on the next entry. We got a lot of buy orders sitting right here, so price does come back down. It's probably going to swing right back up. Looking at the level 2 right now, it's a little balanced. There's a fluctuation of like trades on both sides, so see where this ends up. So there was a market flow entry right here. It just happened too quickly. I don't know if anybody was able to catch it. Yeah, like literally came down for a second and it swung right back up. I wasn't paying attention to it coming down that quickly. Market flow entry just filled and went straight up. Totally missed it. Yeah, I didn't really touch the pivot. It got close to it, but not quite. So be watching it here for the next candle. Yeah. So it's touching when it pushes up, but it didn't necessarily touch it like how we're waiting for. I'll be waiting for the next opportunity here though. So next candle. So I will be looking for this here to swing down and possibly swing back up. All right. It's not a strong enough swing down yet. Trying to get these pending orders in, but the all right, so there's no entry here yet. Again, looking for the same thing here. Not enough of a retracement yet. We also got news over here at 6:45. Thanks, Sam, for the heads up. So we got price really close to the sessions here. I don't think we're gonna get an entry before the news here at 6:45. You might have to sit tight for a little bit. The news at 6:45 is very high impact. We have S&P Global Manufacturing PMI, which is inflation news. Then we have ISM Manufacturing Employment after at 7 o'clock. So it's gonna be kind of tough getting some entries in right here. Here goes price continues to climb up higher. Yeah, so I don't really see any market flow entries right here. Just like what Nick mentioned, it didn't really touch the pivots. It touched the pivots like during the live candle, but it didn't actually come down and touch it. Like it was just pulling up and the pivots were getting pulled to it because it was so bullish, but it didn't necessarily fit the criteria that we were looking for. We were looking for a sharp retracement down and a strong push back up. So I'm glad that you called that out, Nick, because that would have been a FOMO move if I decided to get in and it didn't actually touch. So it's got to be a little careful with the, obviously the market conditions today and the market conditions in general. because it is NFP week. There's high impact news today at 6:45. There's also news at 7, so might be best to kind of hang back a little bit. We still have a few minutes, so I'm going to be looking for any possible opportunity that may come up here, but as of now, it's not really looking like we're going to get anything here. Looking at the level 2 right now, it's pretty mixed. So it's pretty balanced at the moment. I do see, no, it's pretty mixed. There's a lot of buy orders, but it's overall, it's just pretty much mixed. Yeah, Nick said could probably get one off the sessions. Yeah, possibly. I think I'm going to hold off on the session entries though, because that kind of threw me off this week. I'm just going to look for the pivot rejections. Just for me personally, because the earlier trades I took this week, like on Monday, I took them off the sessions and Tuesday, and it kind of threw me off because I think those are the ones that lost for the most part. So yeah, we could get the rejection off the pivots. One thing that I noticed, you guys, is that I think it might work best if we have a pending buy signal. So there's a market flow entry that's coming up right here, guys. I'm not going to take this one though. It kind of goes back to what I was just saying earlier. I think it works best when there's a pending signal in the opposite direction. So like, for example, over here, this could be a possible market flow entry for a sell or a buy, depending on which direction you're looking for. This one over here hit, or it looks like it's about to hit. But what I've noticed is that when there's a pending signal, so for example, if we're looking for buys here and there's a pending buy signal, it works a lot better. So not to say that this isn't a good entry, but you can see over here that it kind of sits flat a little bit when there's a signal in the opposite direction. See how there's a sell signal and it kind of sits flat a little bit. This is probably going to hit, and there you go, full TP right there. But I think for me, I have to add another criteria to it. There's another market flow entry right here that could possibly. Let's see. So I'm going to put a buy limit order right there. So if it swings up, I'll catch that.
Order submitted.
See, the candle has about 20 seconds left on it. If it doesn't fill, I'll cancel it. So there's about 10 seconds left on this candle here. Does not look like it's going to fill, so I'm just going to cancel it here. And I'm going to cancel. But yeah, like I was saying before, guys.
Order canceled.
There, my order got canceled. When there's a pending order for, like, for example, a pending buy signal right here, I think this works best with the, with the entries in that direction, because you can catch the momentum when it actually swings back up. So it's 6:41 right now. It's getting close to news, guys. So probably going to sit tight for a bit. I mean, market might kind of just stay flatline for a while anyways. Or there may be opportunity for one more entry here. We still have a few minutes till news. V1 variation right there. There's a lot of buy orders, so this is probably going to swing up. I'm not going to take the entry. I'm just going to hold off, guys. I feel like I'm getting FOMO now because we're getting so close to news. So I'm just going to hold off for a little bit. So I'm going to wait until news passes. There's just no reason to take anything right now. But let's see. There's a lot of buy orders here, so they're kind of lower though. Yeah, so the buy order is sitting at the 200 mark down here. So you might see a bounce off the sessions. So I'm looking at that. There was like a 20 order of contracts, might bounce off this area and then swing right back up. But again, it's coming close to news right here. So I think at this point, it's probably best to just wait until the news passes, because we're starting to get some pre-news reaction. The news at 6:45 is coming up right here in 2 minutes. It's forecasted to be negative. Last month was 51.6. This month it's forecasted to be 49.5. This is S&P Global Manufacturing PMI inflation news. It's not necessarily good news. But you guys can see right here how it's bouncing off the sessions and opening price, like I mentioned. That's because there was a bunch of buy orders just waiting down there. Bunch of 20 contracts just chilling right here, waiting to get filled. They got filled and it swung right back up. It's a power using level two. So like what you can, well, like I said before and in the past, guys, if you guys want to trade level two, look for price to get near a manipulated area, like say opening price and sessions down here. Look and see where all the orders are at. And once you start to see a rejection, you can kind of just chase it back up. Like for example, if I saw this right here, it came down and bounced off it and it started to push up to the level right there. Could have entered right there and climbed it right back up. So, all right, we got news coming up in about a minute. All right, we got that there, and then we have some more high impact news. ISM manufacturing PMI at 7. So I don't know if we have much time in between to take any orders, but we'll try. All right, about a minute till news. We got price consolidating here for a little bit. I'll just keep an eye out when price gets near these sessions. And then, if I see a lot of orders on one side, you can probably catch the rejection and push in the opposite way. See, question from William. William said, hey, Sean, just requested my first payout, took out the max 2K for 50K account. Just wanted to make sure I had 3,817 profit. So my drawdown will be 1,717. Is that it? And I can continue to trade? Yeah, that's correct. Once you, well, I mean, you should probably wait to get approved. If you're not approved yet, you're like they haven't deducted it from your account, I don't think. So, I mean, yeah, you can continue to trade, but if they haven't approved it yet, if you blow your account today, then you're not going to get the payout. So just keep that in mind. All right, here's the news candle right here, guys. So the thing with Apex, guys, is if you've been approved and they've deducted the amount from your account, then you're fine. You can trade, and if you blow the account, you're still going to get paid out. But if they haven't approved you yet and you continue to trade, if you blow the account and then you get denied, then you're not getting a payout. You just lost the account. So just a heads up for that, William. I mean, you shouldn't blow the account, though. You should still be trading properly. So hopefully you still are, and you don't end up, on the wrong side. But yeah, you can trade. There's nothing stopping you from trading, but you still want to trade, a bit conservatively. Yeah, no problem, William. Yeah, you want to make sure you get approved first so that you can at least get that payout. And then if you do blow the account, if that becomes the case, then, you'll still get the payout. All right, so looking at price right here, let's check the news. The news was positive, actually. So news was positive. Price is still dropping right here. I see a lot of buy orders here, guys. So there might be a correction right here. Might bounce off the levels and then swing right back up. I mean, it's pretty mixed right now. It's not super heavy one-sided, but I do see a lot of buy orders here chilling, like just hanging out in one area. There's a lot of sell orders now. There's a lot of orders on both sides. So I'm just looking at the graph over here. It looks like a lot of people are trying to push price down further, but there's also a lot of big buy orders here. There's not huge buy orders, but there's decently big. I'm looking at the numbers over here to see if I see a big number. If I see a big number, then I expect that to be a whale or an institutional push. I see a 17 contract here on the buy side. Yeah, this is going to swing back up, I think. Seems a bigger buy orders here. So this is probably going to set up for a CB entry or a CB setup. Starting to see a lot of bigger orders over here on the buy side. There you go, the correction back up. So I'm just looking for, and now there's a lot of big sell orders. So this is going to have a tough time going back up unless like the sells kind of just slow down a bit. It's going to be hard for it to push up. Like you can see the push right here. Like this thing is pushing up because these big buy orders are coming in, but they're not necessarily, they're not able to support like the sellers right now because there's more sellers in the market. There's a lot of like consistent sell orders. There's like a couple of big buy orders, and you'll see how that pushes up right here, but there's not, it's not very consistent. You get like 120 order, and there you go. It's starting to push up right here because you're getting these big orders that are pushing price up, but the consistency on the sell side is higher. So here's the thing, if price pushes down further, the target price point is going to be this, the liquidity right here. That's going to be the target down below. And then if price continues to climb up from here, the target price point from here is going to be the sessions. So we have two different targets right here. You can see price is having trouble having some direction because there's just a bunch of orders on both sides. There's some big buy orders here though. I just saw a 24 contract get placed at the 28 mark, which was right here. So around this area right here, there's a bunch of buy orders that are just getting filled. Like they're trying really hard to push price up, but there's just consistency of sell orders coming in. Like there's double-digit sell orders for like 10, 12, 13 contracts. And then on the buy side, you get like a random 20 contract, 30 contract, and you can see how it pushes up right here, right? See how the contract, like this is pushing up because there's a bunch of like big buy orders that are just trying to push price up, but there's nobody following them. So there's like there's someone putting a big order in there, but then there's no follow through. It just ends up dying. So you can see over here how it pushes up, like this green candle pushed up, this red candle pushed up, this green candle pushed up, and then it just comes right back down because there's more consistent sell orders. This is where the level 2 gets a little tricky because you kind of have to balance the big orders with the consistent orders, like the stacked orders. So right now, I would say that the looks like the buyers are starting to get stacked. So there's a lot of buy orders that are hanging out around this area right here. So if price pushes down far enough, it's probably going to retrace right back up. And there you go with that big green candle right there. The buy orders are stacked right now, so it's probably going to push up a little bit for retracement. So it's trying to push up, but again, like I said, you know, it doesn't have any push behind it. There's someone on the buy side that's trying to push up because I could see these bigger orders come in. But every time they put an order in, there's a bunch of sell orders that just flush it right back down. So here we go as price gets near liquidity. Let me see where level 2 is looking. So looking at this here, I think price is going to swing back up. I think it's going to bounce off this area. It's probably going to swing back up. Or not. See some buy orders, but I do see a lot of sell orders too. So it's hard. The level 2 is moving too fast right now but I do see some bigger orders on the buy side. Yep, and it's pretty much doing what I just anticipated. So I said price is probably to swing back up once it gets to liquidity because I saw a bunch of buy orders come up, and that's why it's pushing up right here. So I'll just keep calling out when I see like these level 2 patterns. I'm just looking at the numbers fluctuate. When I see the numbers here kind of fluctuate through here, I'll tell you if I think if price is going to break through it or if it's going to bounce off it. Like I said, I thought price was going to bounce off it because I saw so many buy orders just hanging out down here. That's exactly what's happening here. Price has been trying to push back up for correction, but there just hasn't been much of a follow through. I do think a correction is going to happen though, because I see a lot of big buy orders. So there's institutions and there's market makers and there's whales that are trying to push price up right now. They just don't have the support. So yeah, they just don't have the support behind them to continue climbing up. So we're currently at liquidity right now, guys. There's no market flow entries here. I'm going to keep watching the level 2 to see what I see happen here. Because if that's the case and I see price continue to climb back up, then I'll probably just look for the reversal back to the upside. But as of now, there's just too many sellers in the market that are trying to push price down. The reason why I'm kind of not looking forward to taking sells is because looking over here at retail sentiment, it's currently 73% short. So you can see a lot of the retail traders are on the sell side. Obviously, that's why the market makers and institutions are trying to push price back up because there's too many sellers right here right now. So they're basically overpowering the direction. Also, price is super overextended, like Kevin just said. If you measure from this higher high right here down to here, price is pushed down like 200 points. So a lot of reasons to be careful with the sells here. So we got price getting close to liquidity right here. There's a lot of sell orders stacking right now, guys. So I think this might retrace up a little bit. One second. So there might be a smaller retracement here and then a correction back down. Looking at the level 2. All right, I'm gonna take this off right here or I'll leave it for right now. If price drops lower, I'll delete this liquidity. If price pushes back up, I'll just delete it as well. Kind of just want to use this as a place mark. So there's some big buy orders hanging out right here at liquidity, guys. So I don't think price is going to blast right through. I think price might come down, touch the liquidity, and then it might bounce back up. Otherwise, price might just push up from where it's currently at right now. I see a lot of buy orders around the 63 price point. Yeah, which is where price is currently at right now. There's some big orders at the 50 price point. So at pretty much right here at liquidity. So between 60 and 70, there's a lot of buy orders. So basically this whole area right here, there's a bunch of buy orders. I'm just looking at the graph right now. There's about 10 contracts, 13 contracts. And they're all right here trying to push price back up. However, I'm looking over here on the sell side, and there's also it's probably going to consolidate here. We might just get some consolidation until 7 o'clock. There it goes. Price gets down to liquidity. Looking at the level 2 here, it looks like the buy side is starting to stack up. So I don't think this is really going to push through too far. I think this is probably going to bounce off. I'm gonna clean this up right here because we're already at the next level. So there's a bunch of at the 30 mark. Where's the 30 at? So the 30 is right here. So around this area, there's a bunch of buy orders. I wouldn't be surprised if price bounces off this area and swings back up. Because the buy side is getting stacked right now. 15 contracts, 14 contracts, 17 contracts, 16 contracts. There we go. As price pushes back up, we're getting a bounce off the liquidity here, just like we anticipated. I don't know if this will hold, but so it's hard to because we're going against the trend right now, right? So I keep saying that price is trying to bounce off this area because we're going against the trend when I call out this analysis here. But the level 2 does show that there's a lot of buy orders. That's why you're seeing this push up right here. So every time it pushes up, a bunch of sell orders just come flooding in. So like this will fill. Obviously, you can see this is kind of like where the bank algos are trading because there's a bunch of orders right here and then it fills right here and it comes right back down. So it's not having any luck getting any actual real retracement. You can see price does retrace up a little bit, but it's not a real retracement because in order for it to be a retracement, price would have to come up and maybe bounce off the pivots up here. CRX is asking what moving averages are in the pivots. These aren't moving averages. It says, if it was moving averages, I wouldn't create my own indicator for it. Like I had to create my own specific criteria for the pivots. Everyone always asks that question. I know they look like moving averages, but they're not moving averages. Like if they were moving averages, I wouldn't go and create my own indicator. I would just put up moving averages, right? The pivots here are a combination of a lot of different criteria and code. Yeah, so there's no specific number for it. It's a proprietary blend of different indicators. They're not, it's the least amount of moving averages. It has to do with like volatility. It has to do with oversold and overbought. there's just a lot of different things, and I also factored in like the VWAP with it too. So there's just a lot of different factors that I put into this indicator. It's like it factors in RSI, factors in some oscillators, like I forget which one I factored into it, but also factors in like VWAP. That's why you see price pull back to the pivots. It's very similar to like a VWAP, right? Um, it's not a VWAP, but it factors in a lot of the VWAP characteristics. That's why you see price always pull back to it. Price pulls away, pulls back to it, pulls away, pulls back to it. It's not like where it pushes away and then it's not as smooth as the moving average, where price will kind of swing up and then the moving average kind of just falls through. Because typically when you see a moving average, you'll see price push away and then it'll just cut through it, right? You can see over here, it's not as smooth. Price will push away, it'll bounce off it, but it's not going to cut through it right away. All right, so there's a market flow entry right here, guys. We're really close to news at 7 o'clock, so obviously I'm not going to take it. But there was a market flow entry right there for a sell that came up, bounced off the pivot, came right back down, straight back to liquidity. But it's like right at the news price right here. So we got news in about 1 minute. Let's see the news over here. So this is the thing too. The news at 6:45 was positive, but price just came coming down even harder. The news over here is forecasted to be negative as well. I think this will probably also be positive because it's just going to follow through with the previous inflation news right here. So I think once this news comes out, it might have a correction back up. There's a lot of buy orders that are hanging out right now. So the buy side has some big orders right here at the 41 mark. So down here, there's a bunch of buy orders. Well, not a bunch, but there's like one big buy order. It's about like 20 contracts. So it might spike down and then spike right back up, or it might just go straight up. We got news in 5 seconds. And here goes the news candle right here. So let's see if that buy order got filled. Looks like the buy order got filled initially. That's where that big spike came up right here, and then it came right back down further. So price is blasting right through the liquidity right here. The crazy thing with this is that I'm looking at the level 2, and there's actually not that many sellers in the market. So this drop right here, I don't know where those orders are coming from, but I'm looking at the level 2, and there's not really much. It's not one-sided at all. The sell side is starting to get a little more stacked though. No, okay, so I take that back. The buy side has some pretty big orders coming in. But the sell side again is just stacked. So I'm looking down here and there's a lot of like buy orders that are just hanging out right here. And then whenever it pushes down, it gets triggered and then it pushes right back up. The buy side is starting to get more stacked. I'm seeing like more double digits in the numbers. I'm gonna wait for the news to react or for price to react to the news first before I start looking for some entries. 7:01 right now, so I'll give it a few more moments for it to basically balance out. I'm gonna take off this liquidity here. These liquidities already got hit. This is the Asia low right here with the liquidity. I'm like really cautious to take any sells here because, like I said, there's a lot of buy orders that just keep filling in the level 2. So I'm worried that if I ever get into a sell here, it's just going to swing right back, right back down. Personally, what I would like to see here is I'd like to see a buy signal come up, and then I'd like to see the correction back down. Got some breaking news over here from CNBC. All right, so it says the 10-year Treasury yield falls below 4% for the first time since February. So looking at that data right there, let's take a look at the news. The news was negative. So that makes sense. And here we go as price swings back up. Got price swinging up over here. Okay, so I'm probably going to look for a possible buy signal to come up here. If we don't get a buy signal, that's fine, but I'm looking for that there before I start looking for any sells. So we got the pending buy signal right here. I actually want the buy signal to come up before I start looking for any sells here, but the buy side is pretty stacked, so this thing might continue to climb up higher um, for reversal. So I'm thinking now with the market flow entries, guys, I might I might try to look for or I might try to incorporate like the pending signal. So for example, over here, if the buy signal doesn't come up and I see it start to climb up even higher, then I might look for a market flow entry, even though the trend hasn't shifted yet, right? Because it seems like whenever there's a pending signal, the trades tend to work in that direction. All right, so we have a possible, or it might start to set up for another market flow entry here, guys. Looking at the level two, it's pretty much balanced right now. There's actually a lot of sell orders coming in. So what I'm going to be looking for is a strong retracement up and a push back down. This candle has 30 seconds left on it. Probably not going to retrace up. Not at this point. 7:04 right now. So there's not going to be a market flow entry here, at least not yet. All right, so I'll see if there's a possible market flow entry that can set up here. It's 30 seconds left on the candle. Again, I'm looking for the strong retracement and continuation back down. Not really getting that here. Got 20 seconds left on this candle here. There's not going to be an entry on this candle. The volatility here is too low now. So you guys can see this is why I don't really trade after 7 o'clock, because the volatility here starts to die down. Once it hits 7, the market just starts to go sideways a bit. Yeah, I think the volatility here might be a little too low. Candles are moving about 10 to 20 points. All right, I guess we'll just wait, guys. There's not really much going on here. Looking at the level 2 data, there's some pretty big buy orders that are coming in, so this might retrace up a little bit. The buy orders are sitting around the 70 mark. So as price gets a little lower right here, it's sitting around where the sessions is at. So we have liquidity right here, and we also have the sessions. Price came down, bounced off the sessions. That was the target price point if price came down further. That's what I was looking for entry, but we just never got that retracement up and pushed back down. All right, so I think this might be the lowest point. Or actually, no, I take that back. There's still lower points down here. So price might continue to drop lower. The news was negative, so there might be opportunity here for price to continue dropping from where it's currently at. All right, so looking over here at level two, it looks like there's definitely more sell orders. So if price swings up, it'll probably come right back down. If you guys want to take a market flow off the sessions right here, you can. It's probably going to swing down from this point if it does come up and hit it. There's a lot of buy orders now that are coming in. So it's a little tricky here, guys. It's like a double-edged sword because the sellers will come in, but then all of a sudden, once the sellers come in, the buyers come in. And it's a back and forth game. The sellers are obviously in control here. I mean, it's pretty stacked for the most part. I just don't have much volatility here. I'm looking for price to swing back up, come back down. But even with this candle right here, this candle didn't even touch the session. Measuring it from this lower high right here to this point. Again, price is still a bit overextended. It's down like 130 points. What's up, Kenny? Yeah, Kenny said, "What's up, man? See you're starting to use level 2 data to watch it too." Yeah, I used it before, like on the DOM, but I got the actual level 2 data now, so it's starting to make a lot more sense because you can see the fluctuations a lot better. Yeah, level 2 is good. It's a good confluence. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily use it as a standalone, but it is a good confluence for sure. I'm just going to focus on the sell side level 2 right now. I'm not really going to focus on the buy side right now because these retracements they're not strong enough to really have a reversal. Yeah, of course, you're going to see some big orders come in on the buy side, but for the most part, the sell side is really what's the main focus here. So I'll look for price to retrace up and I'll look for some bigger numbers to come up over here on the sell side because if I see some bigger numbers while price is retracing, odds of it continuing down are very likely. So yeah, super useful. Yeah, exactly. Kenny said orders on level 2 can also be stopped. So keep that in mind. Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Thanks for bringing that up, Kenny. Um, you're right. Yeah, they could be stop orders, they could be limit orders. That's why there's so many on both sides and they keep fluctuating. A lot of them can be traps too. Like what I've noticed in the past is, sometimes you'll see like a big 100 contract order and then they just cancel it before price even goes in and triggers it. So there's manipulation everywhere, whether you're using a level 2, whether you're using, regular candlestick charts, whether you're using footprints. Um, there's manipulation all over the place. Yeah, Sam said the ATR is at 36. The ATR is high, but the actual candles are like pretty small, Sam. That's why like the ATR is kind of tricky sometimes because you'll see like, the ATR is 30, 36, but you look at each candle right here. There's like a couple candles that might be big. Like that's 20 points. On average, they're like 20 points or so. And then you get these smaller ones over here, which are like, 10 points. So it's always tricky to use the ATR standalone. The ATR is good because it shows you that the market is overall volatile, but for the most part, like for the entries, it does get a little tricky. Price is climbing down to the target down here, which is the sessions, of course. Not there yet, but it is climbing down to it. So I'm really just looking for a retracement. I'm looking at the level 2 for a correction back down. There's a lot of buy orders that are coming in, but there's also a lot of sell orders. So I'm not really going to focus on the buy side. I'll let the candlesticks kind of do what they need to do, and then I'll see where the level 2 is on the sell side. I mean, the sell side is stacking right now, so we might get a small retracement up and possibly a correction back down. It's not going to be enough for it to push back to push up that much, but because there's only 20 seconds left on this candle. So I'm not going to see it push up and come right back down. If anything, the entry might happen on the next candle. Yeah, Kenny said no trades for him yet. Yeah, same here, Kenny. I almost fumbled into a couple trades earlier. I mean, they would have hit, but they weren't good entries. Hasn't been smooth at all today. I mean, it looks smooth from hindsight, it looks smooth right here, but watching this happen live, not that smooth. So I wasn't able to take anything yet. All right, I'm looking at the retracement here. Looking at the retracement, I'll look for the sell side is starting to stack a little bit. There's 20 seconds left on this candle here, so I don't think this is enough time for price to come back down. But if it does come back down, there could be a possibility of no, it's not going to come down, of course. There's a pending buy signal right here. Probably hold off on the sell if it does come back down from where it's currently at. I actually want the buy signal to close. Like I want this buy signal to come up. So there's a possible market flow entry right there, but it is on a buy signal. So not really one that I would personally like to take, but it looks like it did play through right there. If you guys took that. So I do want the buy signal to close. The buy signal is going to be beneficial for us because once we have that buy signal there, we can use that as a confluence for a pending sell signal to come up next. What's your question, Football? Your question is what side? I'm not sure what you're asking. What side? High inside? Sorry, I'm not sure what you're asking. All right, so we got price. High side. Um, so I don't remember. I said hindsight. Yeah. I say hindsight, not high side. Well, hindsight means when you're looking at it from outside, like when you're looking at it after it's happened. Hindsight is it's a term. It's a terminology that you're just looking at it. Like you're looking at it after it's happened. Yeah. Yeah, no problem. All right, so the volatility here is kind of low, guys, but unfortunately the buy signal didn't come up. 7:15 right now. We still have quite a bit of time until 8 o'clock. We have gas stocks at 7:30. It's going to be low impact, so it's not going to be too much of a worry. I'll keep looking for a possible entry here, but I'm only going to take an entry if it's like absolutely good, right? I'm not going to take anything here that's I'm not going to force any trades here. I was hoping today would be more volatile because of all the news, but it's not really looking like it today. It is I mean, we're getting a sideways move here. So the volatility here is definitely starting to die down a little bit. There's a possible market flow entry right here. I mean, not one that I would personally take because the volatility is so low, but there is a possible market flow entry right here. Looks like it just got filled. Yeah, I'm not going to take anything here right now because the volatility is just too low. Like the last thing I want to do is get trapped in this position for like a little too long. So the market flow entry is still technically running right now. It probably should have hit already. But because there's no volatility here, you guys can see this is why I don't want to get trapped in. This is why I'm kind of holding off a little bit because of the flat market. Yeah, Kevin said could hit, but looks like it wants to consolidate exactly. So I'm not in this position right here, guys. I'm gonna take this off because I don't want you guys to think that I'm in it. Again, there's still a market flow entry that's currently running, but because of the low volatility here, it's I mean, it's pretty much just flat. but the target price point here still hasn't gotten hit, which is going to be the sessions. That's for the most part where I'm expecting price to go. Another possible market flow entry setting up right there, but again, the volatility is too low here. So this is what got us into the mess earlier this week. So that's why I'm not taking any trades here on these consolidation phases. It just hit TP right there. So it looks like the first one would have hit stop loss, and then the second one right here would have hit TP. This is what got us into the mess this week. So I'm going to be a little careful about the entries that I decide to take. If you guys have been following me all week, Monday we had a lot of back and forth. We had 2 wins, 1 loss. Tuesday we had 3 wins, 2 losses. And then again, yesterday we had 3 wins, 2 losses. It's because we're getting in when the market's like not really moving. And that's kind of what's causing trouble for us, because the volatility is necessary for these market flow entries. So, I mean, I've taken a lot of trades this week so far. I think we've taken a total of 12 trades. That's a lot of trades for 1 week, when I typically try to aim for like 1 or 2 per day. It's just because we get caught in this sideways volatility spikes that we end up with the loss, then we end up with a win, then we end up with loss, and we end up with a couple wins, and then it's just a back and forth game. So I'm not going to end up in the same trap that I got stuck in yesterday and the day before that, because at that point you start to trade on tilt, you start to kind of just be all over the place. I'm okay if there's no entries for me today. I'm still in profit for the week, so not really a huge deal for me at the moment. Screenshot this. Okay. Just so I know where I'm at. All right, perfect. We're getting this buy signal here. This is exactly what I wanted. So I'd like a buy signal to come up, because when that buy signal comes up, it provides that there is at least some momentum in the market. Right now, there's just no direction. I see a lot of buy orders sitting on the level 2 side. So the buy side is getting stacked right now. The buy side is definitely getting stacked, right? There's a lot of buy orders that are hanging out at the 87, 85 mark. So right here, right below it. See a lot of pending buy orders just hanging out down here. Yeah, the buy side is definitely getting stacked right now. I see like 16 contracts, 15 contracts, 17 contracts. They're all like on the double digits, 22 contracts. So price is coming down right here. It's probably going to bounce off the sessions, because there's a lot of buy orders that are just hanging out right here. So it's come down to the session right here, which is the New York and London low. There's still a lot of buy orders that are pending around this area here. So this is probably going to bounce off and swing right back up. Finally got one big candle here. Every candle was pretty much small for the last 10 minutes, and it got pretty big right here. There goes the bounce that I just warned you guys about. I saw the buy orders. I don't know if it'll hold, but still there. So I'm still looking for that buy signal. We've been looking for this buy signal since the beginning of the session. Basically since like 640 up here. The buy signal kept coming up, kept disappearing. There's not too many pivot touches over here from what I'm seeing. All right. Yeah, exactly. Kenny said those buy stops are adding fuel to the fire. Yeah, literally. You see the upper orders, right? Like there's like smaller upper orders for the buy stops, but then like the buy limits down here are like 29. Like the level two is getting filled with buy orders. It's just not enough for it to push up. It's getting stacked, but then it just pushes up and then a bunch of sell orders just push it right back down. So I was hoping for a reversal here. You know, the buy signal come up and then just climb its way back up. But I mean, if this is the case and price continues to drop further, then so be it. That's fine too. It's just that there's no consistency with the volatility. This is why I get kind of tripped up when I'm looking for the entries because like I want volatility to push up. Like I want a retracement and I want it to come down hard. I don't want something where it kind of retraces and goes sideways and then it just continues to climb down lower. That's literally what's doing. This is like what we call staircasing, right? Price is staircasing down, but it's like it's not even a normal staircase. It's like a baby staircase because the movement's so little. You get some consolidation here, like it looks like price is just coming down smoothly, but it really isn't. Because if you measure it from here, this is really like consolidation. This is consolidation, price comes down. It's consolidating and then it's moving. Even though it looks like it's staircasing, it's really consolidating, then it moves, consolidates, then it moves, consolidates, and then it moves. So like if you draw a structure there, you can see that price isn't necessarily coming down very heavily. It's really just it's coming down, but it's also consolidating a lot of the times too. Yeah, Kenny said, I think it'll slow down here. I mean, I'm looking at the level two. There's a lot of orders on the buy side. So like, yeah, I can see it slow down too right here because it looks like the sellers are getting tired. The thing that throws me off here is that the retail sentiment is so high on the sell side. It's probably picked, or it's actually dropped a little bit. It was 73% short earlier. So that's why I was looking for the reversal back to the upside. Now the sellers are already taking their money. And yeah, I mean, this might be it right here. It might start to flatten out. Let me see how big these candles are moving. These candles are still moving only like 13 points. Yeah, Barack said, is it possible that the drop has something to do with the 10-year treasury yield? Yeah, I think so. The breaking news from earlier this morning, right? So when they said here that the treasury yield is falling below 4% for the first time since February, obviously people are gonna bandwagon onto that. But the thing is, like, they're slowly chipping in. So, like, I'm looking at the sell orders here. There's not like any big sell orders. Like, there wasn't a big push where price just spiked down after the news, right? They're just chipping in. They're putting in like what we call stacking. They're stacking the sell side. They let the buys kind of push up a little bit, stack the sell side some more, and they're slowly just like averaging into the sells here. It's not like they're trying to push it down super quickly. Yeah, Kenny said last 3 hour candles are green, hard trend to the upside. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. Let's go to the 1 hour real quick. This candle is huge though. One that's currently at. So it looks like price is bouncing off the sessions right here. This is too big of a candle. I think over the next couple hours, this will start to so I think later in the session, this will correct, it'll correct back to the upside. Right now, it's starting to flatten out. This will probably stay flat down here until like 8 o'clock, and then it'll just swing back up. Because if you look over here at the pattern, just look at the other big red candles, right? Whenever you get a big red candle like that, see big red candle and it corrects back up a little bit. Big red candle corrects back up. Big red candle corrects back up. It's the same pattern. It's the same with this right here. So if you compare this one to this candle right here, huge red candle yesterday, it'll probably correct back up over the next couple hours. See if we finally get the swing back up here. Again, we have our pending buy signal. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, so Kenny said the 10-year treasury candles. Yeah, no, it's been bullish since like they said since February. So looking at the treasury, yeah, the yield is kind of tra changing a little bit. Might be trying to pull out my CDs for the numbers start to change. Or unless you guys are doing T-bonds, stuff like that. There's going to be a shift. So I think in September, there's going to be a shift because they're going to be lowering interest rates. So a lot of things are going to change. So if you guys have any long-term investments that you guys have been holding, like I've been just investing in CDs lately for this year. I think I told you guys before, I just put like all my sitting money in the CDs and then they generate me a couple $1,000 a month. Just free money basically. All right, so we got price coming back down further. It's not really much of movement here. Again, 7:30 right now. I don't think I'm going to take any trades today, guys. It's getting closer and closer to 8 o'clock. These candles aren't really moving too much. So, I mean, if you just look over here, just look back like the past hour, there's maybe like one or two big candles. We had a big candle right here. I wouldn't even consider it big, like the 30-point candle. So we had a couple big candles right here. Everything else has been small. So small candles, big candle, small candles, big candle, small candles. And then again, right here, a couple big candles. Yeah, overall, there's just not there's not too much going on here. Here's the 7:30 news. It's a gas stock change, not very heavy impact. All right. All right. So I'm looking over here at the level two. Seems pretty balanced right now for the most part. I don't really see much on one side or the other. See the news over here at 7:30 was negative. So we've got an influx of negative news from 7 o'clock up until now, 7:30. So, I mean, well, if that's the case, price might just continue dropping from where it's currently at. It's currently at liquidity right now. I see some really big buy orders right here that just came up. Saw like a 31 contract over here at the 70, at the 88 mark down here. There's quite a bit of yeah, there's quite a bit of buy orders that are just they're still trying to push price up, but like what Kenny mentioned earlier, they could also be buy stops. They could be stop losses that people have that are trying to catch the reversal. That makes more sense, right? So I think now that Kenny has kind of mentioned that to me, when I see these big orders on the buy side, I think it's people who are trying to catch the reversal. They're trying to catch the bottom, but the bottom just keeps bottoming out. So they're not really catching it. So basically the people who are catching the buys here just keep getting screwed. So they try to catch the buy, it pushes it up a little bit, and then they get screwed. They catch the buy here again, pushes it up a little bit, and then they get screwed again. It's just a never-ending process, it looks like. So I think the main focus should be on the sell side. I'll look at the candle movement. There's some big contracts here on the buy side. They're just getting burnt out right now. I see some big orders right here again. The big orders are coming up around the 44 mark. See the sell orders here starting to stack up again. There's not enough of a retracement. Again, I'm looking for this to retrace up and then come back down sharp. All right, let's see out this liquidity. That liquidity is pretty much done with. Again, I'm looking for price to retrace up kind of hard, then come back down. 7:33 right now. We have about 27 minutes till 8. The volatility has been pretty dead. So there's been a directional move here, but you guys can see all these candles are super small. Continuation down, sideways, continuation down. See, this candle has 37 seconds left on it. Thanks, Kenny. Yeah, Kenny said that we're at yesterday's low. Yeah, we got the New York low right here. It's green line. So we're around that area. See if it breaks past it or continues. So I'm going to keep looking at the level 2 over here to see if there's any opportunity. There might be a market flow entry on this next candle here, guys. Something to look out for. I'm going to hold off on it. This one has a buy signal again, guys. So I'm going to hold off on this here. I'm just keeping an eye out on the level 2 to see, if I see a stacking, if I see order stacking on the sell side, then it could be enough to write it down further. But this buy signal has been pending for the past hour now. Been waiting for it to close so that we could have a pending sell order or sell signal. But yeah, it hasn't. Steven's asking if gold follows US30. No, it doesn't. The only thing that follows US30 is S&P. That's the only thing that follows it. There's nothing else that necessarily follows it, just like other ones. I mean, gold might look like it follows it, but it doesn't. If anything, it might move opposite of it most of the time. Because gold is a safe haven currency. So like if the economy is doing bad, money goes into gold. If the economy is doing good, money goes into cash, which is YM. So if anything, it'd be opposite most of the time. All right, so still nothing here, guys. Price is just consolidating between the 800 mark and the 750. There's just not much movement here. Price is consolidating. It's after 7 o'clock, so a lot of the movement already finished. This is why I don't trade after 7, but I'm still looking here just in case something does come up, because in some instances, you might get some volatility towards the end of the session. But just looking at how price is currently moving right here, we're probably not going to get any movement. It's pretty much just going sideways. It retraces up a little bit, but it's not enough volatility for us to catch the bounce and correction back down. There's just not enough there. Let's see, Kevin said a retracement would be nice, but I guess I'm working on my patience today. Yeah, no, same here. Haven't taken any trades today. I think today's a good day to test your patience, just like Kevin's saying. If you guys are starting to feel FOMO, or you feel like you need to force something, or you need to take some sort of trade, then it's probably best to just hold off. I mean, if you're starting to feel FOMO, then it's probably best to just close out your trading panel. You could still watch the live session, but probably close out your trading panel, because you don't want to FOMO into a trade right now. Obviously, the volatility is not there, so if you do take a trade, you might be trapped in that position for an extended period. And the last thing you want to do is make a mistake this late into the session. It's 7:40 right now, 20 minutes till 8. So we got some breaking news from CNBC. I just saw your message, Nick. I'm not going to say it out loud, but I just saw it. And I'm pretty sure everybody knows what you're referring to. All right, so it says Dow drops 300 points after weak data, raises worries about US economy. So with that said, we might get a push to the upside, guys. Let's take a look at the candles. Huge, huge push right here. So just remember, whenever you see a CNBC report on something, market's typically going to do the opposite. And that's exactly what happened here. They said the Dow's down. What happens? The Dow goes up. So let's see if we finally get this buy signal here. This buy signal has been waiting for quite some time. Yeah, CRX hit almost 600 points down is insane. Yeah, no, I agree. So market open from right here. Let's measure from opening price down to this point down here. Yeah, well, 600, not at 600 yet, but close enough, right? About 500. Yeah, 600 would be pretty insane. You guys can see our price did climb down, but it's like it's just a small push. It's not necessarily like a big push. It's been like slowly pushing up pretty much all session. There was another market flow entry that came up right here, guys. Again, I'm not really taking it because we have the buy signal there. I would like this buy signal to close though. I don't think we're ever going to get it. It keeps disappearing at the last second. Yeah, that buy signal is probably not going to close. All right, so I'm looking over here. The volatility did pick up a little bit. There's a lot of sell orders just hanging out. So if this ends up pushing up and coming back down, this could be a possible entry for a market flow entry. The only problem here is that the volatility is just not really there. A little too late. I was going to try to get in if price swung up a little higher. Wanted to retrace up a little bit. No, it's too late now. So there was another market flow entry that was setting up right there. I was waiting for it to push up a little higher so I can put my pending order and catch as it comes down, but it just never really pushed back up. Possibly on this next candle here again. See, the volatility is not very consistent, so it's like it's hard to get into these entries here because you don't really get a retracement up at all. So I'll watch it right here again if it swings up. Still hasn't swung up there. We're back to the small candles again. Because what I'm doing is I'm looking for the retracement, like the price to push up, and then I'm looking on the level 2 to see if there's a lot of sell orders waiting above. So if it hits the top right here, I'm looking for it to push back down. But the thing is, it doesn't really push high enough where there's any opportunity for it to actually even come up or down. So I'm gonna wait for the next candle here again. And again, the volatility here has pretty much become obsolete. So we got price coming down right here. The target price point, if it does come down further, is going to be the liquidity. But again, I'm just looking for this here to swing up a little bit, or a lot of it, I guess. I'm looking for the strong retracement and come back down. That's all I'm looking for. But we are getting close to 8 o'clock. So if I don't see some increased volatility here, I might just wrap it up, guys. The last thing I want to do is FOMO into an entry here as we get closer and closer to 8. The volatility here is starting to die down. You guys can see the range here starting to get wider. So the range is currently between the 800 mark and the 700 mark right here. This is pretty much the current range for now. All right, looks like volatility here is pretty much dead. There is. All right, there might be a opportunity here if price starts to pick back up. But again, the volatility here is just too low. Again, I'm looking for a sharp push up and continuation back down. But there's just not anything happening here as price continues to just linger sideways. All right, guys, if there's any other questions, feel free to put them in the chat. Not looking like we're going to have any entries for today. Unfortunately, it's just one of those days. So I'll just post up my accounts for the day. So let's see. There are my accounts for the day so far. Let's see what I'm missing here. Might be an opportunity right here. But again, the volatility is a little low. Let me go and check the level 2 again. No. So it didn't really push up high enough to like touch the pivot. So nothing there again. Yeah, this candle looked promising when this candle pushed up a bit, but then it just ended up dying as it pulled back down. See, Dylan's asking, when does the summer trading period end? Typically, it ends at the end of this month. So towards the end of this month, September 1st, is when the fall season starts. It usually starts to pick up like towards the end of this month, though. It's like maybe the last week of August, you'll see the market volatility start to pick up a little bit. And then first week of September, usually it starts to become a lot more consistent. Because this is pretty much, I mean, this is normal for a summer market, right? The slow market, smaller candles, not very much volatility. This is normal for a summer market. So this isn't something unusual. If you guys have traded with me over the years, we've been trading live for about 6 or 7 years now, every single day. We've gone through these market cycles pretty much every year. So there's no surprise that the market is moving slow right now. This is how it's supposed to move. So, what we got to do is just take what we can get and pretty much maneuver through summer until we get till the fall where the market starts to pick up again. I mean, there's a big drop today. I mean, the market did fall quite a bit, but the volatility just wasn't there. So there's another opportunity here for a possible market flow entry if it comes all the way back down. Not that I expect it to come all the way back down, but there is a possibility here at 707, which is probably not going to happen. It's about 15 seconds left on this candle. Yeah, it's not going to happen. So looking over here at our team profits for the day, we have Max over here. So Max locked in 420 per account. So 420 on his first account, 450 on the second, 450 on the third, 450 on the fourth, and 420 on the fifth account. So across all his accounts here, Max locked in, let's see, 1, 2, 3. So a little over 2,000 on his PA accounts. This is day 8 on Max's PA count. So he has 2 more days and he's requesting 13,750. Nice work, Max. Also, we got Steven over here. He took the liquidity push earlier this morning, took a profit of 257 for the day. Nice work, Steven. And looking over here at my profit, so I didn't take any trades today. You guys can see all of my accounts are pretty much flat. So for the day, 0. For the week, I'm still at the same amount, 24,845. So not too bad, but I was hoping to catch at least something today, but it's all good. There's no need to force any trades, of course, like I said. So, this is me being transparent with you guys. I didn't take any trades. There's going to be some days where you just don't have anything. I'd rather have a 0 day than a break-even day. Like, I think a break-even day is even worse because you have to pay commissions and fees. So I'd probably still be in the negative even if I had a break-even day today. So preferably, I'd be okay with with what I got right now. So other than that, guys, there's not really much going on here. There was a possible market flow that came up on this candle right here, but it doesn't look like price really pushed up and down very much. It looks like it pushed up maybe a point, actually 5 points. So the volatility looks like it might be picking up here a little bit. See, Woeful Penguin said, anyone recommend a broker for trading gold based out of US? Yeah, I don't know if anybody has any brokers that they would recommend trade gold out of the US. This isn't you, Steven, right? You didn't come up with a new username called Woeful Penguin asking about gold. Seems like you're the only person here that really asks about gold. Steven Steven came up with another username just to ask more gold questions. I'm messing with you, Steven. I know it's not you. Um, but yeah, I don't know if you guys know any brokers. I don't know if IC is still around, but yeah, I don't know any. I don't really promote any like scammy brokers. I would never promote anything scammy to you guys. Everything that I tell you guys is stuff that I use. Like Apex, I use it. I know a lot of people don't like Apex, but I mean, Apex has been pretty good to me. It's been pretty good to everybody else here. I know a lot of people complain about getting denied payouts, but the only people I see getting denied payouts from Apex are the people who are not following the rules. If you're following the rules, you should have no problem. I don't see any person in here who's had any issues and has been denied a payout. So, that speaks numbers there because there's a lot of us here, and there's not one person here who's complained about not getting paid out. I mean, there's a lot of people who haven't gotten paid out at all, but you don't see people getting denied payouts here because we follow the rules. So just, keep that in mind, guys. I'm only gonna recommend stuff that I actually use. I could only recommend IC markets to this guy probably because in the past I've used IC markets and they're like probably one of the best international brokers, but they don't accept US clients. So yeah, that sucks. I mean, if you're in the US, guys, you shouldn't be using a forex broker anymore anyways. You should be using the futures brokers. Um, like I don't even know how you trade on MC4, Steven, because I don't know any brokers that actually carry US clients. I'm assuming you're using something that I'm not familiar with. Well, actually, you did tell me. You told me some like random name for your bro. Which broker are you using, Steven? I know you're using a bunch of them, but like like everything you've told me, I've never heard of before. So I'm not familiar with it. So it looks like the volatility here is picking up a little bit, guys. There is a couple market flow entries that are kind of flowing through here. There's one that just came up right here. This did come up pretty nice, actually. So the volatility is picking up here a little bit as we get closer and closer to the end of the session. Here, let's see. I'll just hang out for a little bit longer and maybe a few more minutes, see if there's anything here that may come up. The volatility is picking up a little bit. Maybe on this next candle. 275. It like seems like it comes up like super quickly, but then it just the volatility just dies back down. All right, Brock. Yeah, Brock's had been a rocky day. Took some, gave some. Leave it there for now. Thank you, Sean. Yeah, definitely, Brock. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Hopefully tomorrow should be better. It's NFP night. It's tomorrow, so I think the volatility should be there. But I mean, who knows, right? We really don't know. So, all right, Brock, we'll see you back here tomorrow. All right, so there's no entry right here again. The volatility just died down. There was volatility for the previous two candles, and then now it just kind of it pretty much got flat again. There's nothing going on here. All right, there may be a possible market flow entry right here. See, the candle has 36 seconds on it. Put an order right there.
Order submitted.
I see a lot of stacked orders over here on the sell side. So the sell side is starting to stack a little bit.
Order filled.
Let's see. So let's get moved up a little bit. See if the volatility picks back up or if it stays flat. So we had a pending sell, another pending buy signal right there. Let's see the level 2 showing some sell orders over here. I mean, it's kind of stacking on both sides. So the volatility here is kind of dead. You guys can see the volatility is pretty low. This price continues to just like go sideways here. See where it's at. That stopped out. All right, so that was a trade that could have been easily avoided,
Order
but
filled.
it's all good. So it took a little loss on that right there. Let's see where I'm at. Where's my replica coil at?
Order filled.
It's a little partial on these here. All right, it's all good. That trade should have been avoided, but it's all good. Like I said, you know, the FOMO starts kicking towards the end of the session, and this is kind of where I got caught in. So it's all good. And count this right here as a loss, unfortunately. We're still at net 2 wins for the week. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if this thing comes right back down. We just got caught on that little spike up there. And also my entry wasn't that perfect. So I wouldn't be surprised if this thing comes down right here. All right, let me just add that to here real quick. So one loss for the day, not a big deal. And I'm gonna wrap this up. All right, guys. So I think that's it for the day. If you guys have any more questions, feel free to put them in the chat. If you guys have profits post up, feel free to send them in. Otherwise, you guys can see the market's not really moving too smooth at all. Expecting more movement tomorrow, which will be a good sign. And we'll continue on at this trading week. So, all right, guys, if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, I will see you guys here